Hello, and welcome to another listening practice. And this time we are heading to the Lake District. I recently went there on holiday for 5 days. This video is the first in a series of videos, and it is all about day 1. The Lake District is the largest national park in England, and it is about 5 or 6 hours by car from London. I was actually travelling from Portsmouth, which was about 260 miles or 420 kilometres. Most of our journey northwards was on motorways, and some of it was on the M6 toll motorway, which was the UK's first toll motorway and opened in 2003. It is 27 miles long, and if you travel along it by car, it costs you about £7 to £10. The benefit is that it is usually faster and less congested than the normal M6 motorway. You pay with contactless payment, so you just drive up to the barrier, swipe your phone or your contactless card, and the barrier will open and let you through. We left Portsmouth at about 5 o'clock in the morning, so by about 10 o'clock or 10:30, we were driving into Windermere. As you can see, the weather at this stage was not great, and actually the forecast for the whole week looked pretty dire. But you will see in future videos that turned out to be not the case, and we had wonderful weather. The first thing we needed to do when arriving in the Lake District was to visit a supermarket and get some supplies. We were going to stay in a self-catering house or flat, so we needed to buy groceries for the week. To do this, we drove into Windermere. Windermere is a pretty little town at the southern tip of the lake of the same name, Lake Windermere. The town grew a lot in the Victorian era, partly prompted by the arrival of the railway, which arrived in 1847. Even now, it's a major transport hub for the Lake District. The main street is lined with quaint shops, cafes and restaurants, and especially in the summer, there are a lot of tourists here. It is often referred to as the gateway to the Lake District, because from here you can travel to all the other parts of the Lake District. Our rented accommodation was not actually in Windermere, but in a little village called Staveley, about 10 minutes from Windermere. Having done our shopping, we then headed to Staveley, which is where our first walk of the holiday was to start. This is a hiking holiday, so we wanted to do a walk every day. The Lake District is one of the best places in the UK for hiking and walking. Firstly, there are beautiful landscapes here. There's everything from peaceful valleys and lakes to steep mountains, so no matter what you're looking for, you'll find something to suit you. There are forests, cliffs, waterfalls, and all kinds of natural beauty. The walk we did today was almost 6 miles and was mainly through woodland and along the River Kent near Staveley. And here you can see a map of our route. As we left Staveley, we passed this tower, which is called St Margaret's Tower, and it used to be part of a church, which was built in 1338. The main part of the church was demolished because the site was damp, but the tower was kept, and in 1887 it was restored and heightened, and a new clock was installed on the occasion of Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee. And you can already start to see why the Lake District is such a good place for hiking and how beautiful it is. And this isn't even from a high viewpoint. It only gets better from here. There are also the Wainwrights in the Lake District, which is a set of 214 peaks in the Lake District, and they are named after Alfred Wainwright, who is a famous British walker, and he wrote guidebooks and other books about the Lake District. Lots of people take on the challenge of bagging all 214 Wainwrights in the Lake District. Some of the most famous are Scafell Pike and Helvellyn, which give amazing views from the top, if the weather is good, of course. This is the River Kent, which is one of the main rivers in the Lake District. It flows for 20 miles and drains into Morecambe Bay. Another good thing about the Lake District is even though the scenery is quite wild, it's easy to get around by train, bus or ferry, so it's quite accessible. It was at this point that I had a slight mishap when I put my foot on what I thought was solid ground, but found out it was in fact rather muddy, and rather deep mud at that. It was also on this walk that we first met some of the locals of the Lake District. And we had some of our first glimpses of the high, snow-capped mountains in the distance. It was on top of this hill that we had our first rain shower of the walk, which, considering the forecast had been for rain all day, wasn't too bad at all, and it was a very short shower. We also had the chance to get more closely acquainted with this rather colourful flock of sheep, and they followed us all the way across the field. We were now nearing the end of our walk, and as we were walking through the woods, we came across a tree which had a lot of rope swings on it. So of course we stopped to have a go. Before we went back down into the valley, we had one last lovely view across the valley. And there was even some blue sky, which was a sign of good things to come in the rest of the week, as it turned out. We crossed the River Kent back into Staveley and went to our accommodation, which you can see here. And you can also see the view from the front door of the accommodation, which is rather beautiful. And that was our first day in the Lake District. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, because there will be more videos about the other 4 days. And the weather is better on the other 4 days, so the views only improve. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know below, and I will see you again next time. Bye!